There is evident excitement among fans about the return of Kekin De Bruyne after a prolonged absence due to injury that began last weekend. The Etihad Stadium echoed with cheers as the player stepped onto the field, touching the ball to warm up for the match against Sheffield United. Jurgen Klopp expressed concern about this comeback when discussing the title race 48 hours later. However, that was all nothing more. Everything still lies ahead. Who remembers the league standings in January? Arsenal is still in the mix, and Tottenham has made a comeback. As for Manchester City, Kekin De Bruyne is gearing up for return. The entire Premier League is buzzing with anticipation for his comeback. Finally, in yesterday's FA Cup third-round match against Huddersfield Town, the Belgian midfielder returned to the pitch. It was 149 days after a serious wrist injury that required surgery at the beginning of the season. As the name Kekin De Bruyne appeared on the referee's substitute board, it resonated throughout the stadium as a warm welcome. On the field, as everything returned to normal, Ruben Dias handed over the captain's armband as Kekin De Bruyne stepped onto the field. More than 15 minutes later, he delivered a precise cross, assisting fellow countryman Jeremy Doku in securing a 5-0 victory for Manchester City. Everything seemed familiar as it used to be. It marked the return of one of the best playmakers in the Premier League for many years. And it signaled fear for other teams facing Manchester City with Kekin De Bruyne in the lineup. However, the question arises, will he play a slightly deeper role, or does his role need some adjustment? Currently, the player often used to fill Kevin's position during his injury is Phil Foden. According to Pep Guardiola's interview, there is a possibility that this duo will continue to play together on the field. They might play together in some matches, and sometimes they may not. We have to think about it, as Guardiola pointed out. Last season, during the attacking phase of the season, Manchester City had Gundogan and De Bruyne supporting just behind the wingers and the target striker, forming a 2-2-1 or 2-3 structure when the wingers played higher up. This was evident in the first 20 minutes against Burnley this season, just before De Bruyne got injured. However, De Bruyne's absence led to a change in the approach. The Spanish coach decided that Manchester City would need to alter their approach from the previous season and play with 3 supporting players for Erling Haaland up front, creating a 3-1 shape when approaching the opponent's goal. Rodri's suspension and John Stones' injury added complexity to the situation. Nevertheless, De Bruyne's absence was also one of the reasons for Manchester City's less impressive performance in the first half of the season. Since the news of his serious injury, the fans have been extremely concerned about De Bruyne's absence as he plays a crucial role for Manchester City. Since the 2016-2017 season, when Guardiola first took charge of the team, the Belgian player has created more chances than anyone else in the Premier League. He generated over 200 chances, more than the second-place Pascal Gross, more than 70 chances from open play than Mohamed Salah, and when it comes to creating chances within Manchester City, he had 349 chances, more than Bernardo Silva and more than Raheem Sterling with 169. A common observation about Manchester City players is that few can deliver suitable crosses for Erling Haaland. However, as seen in the previous season, Kekin De Bruyne worked well in providing opportunities for the Norwegian striker. In November, Haaland was asked if De Bruyne would return soon, and he responded, "Yes, I hope so. I miss him." One of the most notable differences in Manchester City's attacking play without De Bruyne is the increased emphasis on attacking through the left flank when Doku is on the field. Looking at the chance distribution chart below, you'll notice that Foden and Alvarez often create a connection in the center, supporting Haaland. Therefore, Kyle Walker tends to push forward to expand the space on the right wing. However, the English wing-back hasn't been able to create many dangerous situations from attacks on that side. With the return of Kekin De Bruyne and his tendency to frequently play on the right wing, it could help Manchester City find a better balance. Pep Guardiola will also look for ways to capitalize on the link-up between De Bruyne and Haaland to once again create a formidable attacking force. As for Doku, he can still be used as an option to break down the opponent's defense. But with De Bruyne back on the right wing, opponents facing Manchester City will have more to worry about. with changes from the previous season, most notably the departure of Gundogan and Stones' injury. De Bruyne cannot be expected to single-handedly carry Manchester City to a treble, as he is not a player known for controlling games in Guardiola's team. That role is fulfilled by others, but if he returns to the midfield alongside Rodri, Stones, and Bernardo, sometimes with Jack Grealish on the left wing, Manchester City will have a much better balance between setting tasks and consistently posing threats to opponents. Especially their attack will become much more formidable with precise passes from De Bruyne. Additionally, his comeback could provide a new motivation for his teammates. The spirit of Manchester City players this season is not good and hasn't shown strong determination to conquer titles. But with De Bruyne, he can generate significant motivation for them. Just before yesterday's match, Pep Guardiola commented on his current player's situation. "I like the way De Bruyne has shown his class over the past 8 years at Man City. Even when De Bruyne had to take a long break from playing, I think his quality hasn't diminished. You can see the Spanish coach still holds his player in high regard even when he returns after a long injury layoff." However, Pep also mentioned the need to carefully monitor the situation before allowing the Belgian midfielder to play with high intensity. When De Bruyne suffered a serious injury, our main concern was to try to prevent a recurrence. If he wants to play, De Bruyne must be cautious. In recent days, I have directly talked to De Bruyne, fitness experts, and doctors to understand the situation. They are the ones who know him best. Before returning, De Bruyne must train regularly, listen to his body, and especially not rush. As for himself, De Bruyne probably also feels eager to be back on the pitch, but he still maintains a cautious attitude. After the match, he stated, "It was a major surgery. I worked hard and I am very happy to be back. I feel good, so I am pleased with that, but I'm still not where I need to be. I feel okay, but there will be moments. Initially, when I trained, I felt tired, but the past few weeks have been fine." Certainly, the return to peak condition for De Bruyne will be a significant boost for Manchester City in the title race, and if everything goes according to plan, it shouldn't be too long to wait. However, even with this knowledge, for the remainder of the season, there is still a significant focus on ensuring that Kevin De Bruyne avoids injury recurrence. Pep Guardiola addressed this concern, stating, "Now that's what I've said before. He needs to accumulate training sessions more than matches. I still don't think he's ready for 90 minutes, but before Newcastle, he has another chance. Then he has 2 weeks to train well here and in Abu Dhabi, then on to the second part of the season." The return of the Belgian midfielder brings hope for Manchester City fans. And even though they may not see him play continuously and at full strength this month, it is still a positive sign for Pep Guardiola's ambitious pursuit of trophies once again. As for other teams in the Premier League, a familiar fear is slowly returning. Once again, this is TD Sports. If you find this video interesting, please support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel to stay updated with the latest and most engaging sports news throughout the day. See you in the next videos.